I get this question a lot, how do I run code, and I just want to make a video about it. So if you enjoyed it, please do give it a like or share it with your friend. Thank you. So to get started, I decided to split this into 4 parts. The first one talks about like what you need. So I believe the first thing that you need is having like a target or a goal, which is like a long-term goal. So for example, why do you want to run code? So do you want to run a job or do you want to change a job? So for example, maybe you are a cashier and then you want to run to change a job. So that's like a kind of long-term goal. Or you just want to develop a solution. For example, in your hometown, you have seen that most companies use like the paperwork, and then you want to automate them by providing like an app that can make it easy to record and deal with the paperwork that the company does. So that's kind of solution that you have like in mind. So that can also be like a long-term goal of what the reason why you are trying to code. And another thing is that you can say I just want to make it for fun. And then the second thing is to pick a path and a language. So the path can be any kind of path that requires coding. So for example, you can say I want to make a website. Probably you say like probably you can say if you want to make a website, it means that you are going to be like a front-end developer or a full-stack developer. So depending on the website that you are trying to build. And one of the way where you can find like the path is when you come here on this website, which is called roadmap.sh. So on this side, if you come here, you can get a lot of careers that you can attempt. For example, you can become a front-end. Front-end is someone who develops the UI, like what is visible to the end user. Like if I visit this website, I can see that we have these icons and this box which just are hoverable. So the one who developed this is it's like a front end, and then the back end is the one who is going to develop how the data we are seeing, which might be coming from the database or other storage, are stored. So, and we can have a DevOps, like someone who's managing how this website is deployed, a full stack who is like he can do like front end, back end, sometimes a little bit of DevOps, sometimes but not always. Sometimes when you are full stack, sometimes you can do all of this, but normally full stack is a combination of front end and back end. You can be an Android developer, or you can be a database administrator. So they put it here like Postgres, but you can say like database administrator, and then you can say if I'm going to be database administrator, I need to run like SQL language. And you can say I just want to be AI or data scientist, a blockchain, a Q&A. So you can come here and then find the path that you want to. So because you know what's your main target, you can say I just want to run a job in, because you know your goal, you can say I just want to run a job in front end, or I just want to run a job in a back end, or if I want to develop this solution, is it going to employ both front end or back end? So if it is going to employ both front end and back end, you can just say, okay, I'm going to run all this, and then I can develop this solution. And another thing which so after I choose the path, make sure that you choose a language that is based. You don't have to pick a random language. Make sure that you choose a language that is in demand, especially if you are looking for a job. And if you are developing a solution, so make sure that you are also using the languages that are in demand, because when you have an issue or you are looking support from the other people, it just make it easy to find the people who have like experience in that language. And so I think after I have decided which path and the language that you are going to use, so I recommend for front end, I guess they need to learn. So if you come here, you see like it's JavaScript. If you are going to be a front end, normally you are going to use JavaScript, but instead you are going to pick any framework. And after that, you have picked the path and the language. The second thing is to run. So because you know what you are going to breathe, and then you are going to run, and then you can run by doing. Make sure that so if you are watching the tutorial, make sure that you for example video from YouTube, make sure that what the person who is teaching you about who is teaching you what he's doing is what you also do. And then you can try to run an example and also try to do like an experiment. If you think you can question yourself, like, why did he use this, what will happen if I change this. For example, you can so for example, let's come here on the front end, and then let's try to learn about like the basics, and we come here to the WCS schools. So if you come here and then you see for example, here we have like doc type, so you can just do like try it yourself, and then you try to see what is going to happen if I change this to another thing. So depending on what you learned, what will happen if I change this. For example, I change to H12. So this just give you like it just gives you like what will happen when you try to change thing. And this is like kind of thing which is very important whenever you're running, because it just helps you to know, to get like experience on what's going to happen when something is done. So and another thing is that you need to look for the sources. So it's better if you look resources for yourself, because as a software engineer, or as someone who is running to code, you need to make sure that you are able to run by yourself, because most of the time you get into the state where you are going to develop something that you haven't watched by that you haven't been taught by anyone. So and you will have to find it for yourself. So please make sure that it is better if you find the resources online and then you find it for yourself. If you like to read articles, if you like to view videos, so it just helps. You will just pick between what works and what doesn't work. And after you have finished the basics, for example, make sure that you choose, you pick all this, and then you run. And when you reach like on the bonus content, like when you get to the end, then you can just come back and then start doing the practice. So the way you can do practice is like you can do challenges, you can do like coding exercise, or you can just build your own portfolio, you can attend hackathons. So this is something that helps you to recall what you learned here. So if you run HTML, when you attend like a hackathon, sometimes you might need HTML. Make sure that you choose hackathons which are aligned with what you learned, and you do challenge which are aligned with what you learned. And another thing is that you need to understand how other projects were implemented. So it just give you like an overview on what is your level. So if you take a look on different projects, maybe you can go on GitHub to see like then while you're also doing the practice, so in this stage where you're doing practice, make sure that you start working on your long-term goal. So if it is applying, if it is a job, start applying. If it is developing a solution, make sure that you start developing the solution. If you are doing things for fun, so you can do it. So that's when you start like putting in practice in what you've been running. And depending on the level, you might find yourself coming back to this place where you pick another path in a new language, and then you start learning by doing. Or sometimes you can remain with the same language and then you come back here. So sometimes you can just come back here and then come here. Sometimes just happen. So you can come back here and then go here. So you can come from practice and then you also go again to learn by doing. And sometimes you can come from here. For example, you can just come here, depending, for example, if you're on a new job, sometimes you can find yourself here, backing, I guess it's here, it's not there. So so sometimes you can just find yourself coming back to picking another path, depending on the goal. So if you apply for the job, sometimes you can find that they are using different language which is different from what they have been doing. So I think that's the video which I wanted to make. So please make sure that you have a goal and choose the career path. So you can use roadmap.share to pick a path, and then you start running. And then after you run, you get like all the basics that are required, and then you can start doing practice while focusing on your long-term goal. So actually that's how I believe. This is my opinion. So if you have like any comment on how you can run, so I will be happy for that. Thank you.